Hey Slimes, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Catherine Cat, and today we will be doing the requested video on screen. This is also a shout out to one of my subscribers, and basically I have really nothing to say in the beginning, so let's just get on with the video because everything is I'm going to be talking more over there. So basically I will be editing my actual OC, my character, and usually when I'm editing I never have anything on the face, like except for the eyes, nose, and mouth. Like the blush I usually just take off, the eyebrows, everything like that I take off. That was also when in the beginning. So everything here, like the facial wise, basically, like the eyebrows are basically this, not basically, they are the same. And they're literally the exact same. I'm over here thinking of what facial expression to actually use. In the middle of this, I figured out that I'm just gonna, you'll see what I'm gonna be doing because I don't know how to explain it. So it's basically the same like how my old previous video of how I edit is. So it's basically just how I edit, but I'm going to be comparing. And when over here, I don't like how the blue eyebrow looks, so since it's on a different layer, I can just lasso that one eyebrow and I can just rotate it however I want, and at the end, I actually like it. So over here is pretty much, again, the exact same thing, but then once I get to this third layer, I believe, third layer. So over here, I basically just magic wand. I select the half of the face, and then also the legs, the entire legs. And if the arms are open, I also do the arms. But right now, my arms aren't open. I go onto the S layer. I think it's called like the S layer, and then I basically erase the necklines, and I also color in all of the lines that are like not fully colored in, because if I don't, you're gonna see like those lines when I actually color it in, and it's not gonna look the best. So after I do that, I will be showing you guys how I used to do. I'll be like comparing, kind of like I'll show you guys how I used to do this shading part, and now how I do it. Well, right now I was about to show you guys how I do it. So over here, it depends. I go onto like a reddish pink tone, and the darker the skin, like the lower the little circle goes. So and also the lighter skin goes up there. So my skin tone on this character is very light, so I use like a pretty light skin tone. Let me show you guys how I did it before. At first, I used to basically use the depend hard mode, and then I would just do a line, and then I go into the blur pen, and I would just blur it out. I don't know why I just stopped doing that, probably because it's an extra step when I can just use the airbrush pen, so it's much more easier to do the airbrush pen. And the same thing with the legs. I also used to just do one line on each leg, so like this basically, but with a normal one. I believe I show you guys. I go to depend hard, and then I just do 2 lines on the inner thighs. Well, not, I think you guys know what I mean. And then I would just do that, but I don't do that anymore. And because, again, extra steps. But now what I do is I get the airbrush pen, I airbrush those 2 sides, and then I also airbrush the other 2 sides, but leaving like the little middle because it looks better like that. And this is pretty recent. I just started adding a darker spot right there for like knees. I don't know why, I just like doing that now. So then I believe we go to the next layer, and I go to depend hard. I get on like the drawing tool and put the square. I get it to like the brightest purple I can get, because I did not mean to put it on multiply. I'm gonna put it back. Yeah, there. So I'm going to put it back to normal, and I'm just going to get like a bright purple. And since I make sure the fill on the square is there, so you'll see it when you click on the square, and I just lower the opacity. I take off the square because I don't want the square anymore. This time I put it onto multiply, and I used to basically just skip the airbrushing part. Right now I just select the color, and then I basically just airbrush random parts. Like, I'd get like a huge, not too big, but like a big of a airbrush, and then just randomly airbrush random parts. I don't know why, but it just looks better like that because, yeah. And also, the rest of the hair is pretty similar until I get into the highlighting part, kind of. I meant to show you guys how I highlight. I meant to show you guys how I highlighted before. I think I'll just give you guys, I meant to show you guys how I highlighted before, but, like, I'll get a picture of how I highlighted before, because I don't know where I got that from. So, I do that. This took me a while to like how I did it, and basically when I do these, I used to not put it on every single line, but now I try my best to get it on every single line, and it doesn't matter if I don't, because sometimes people just miss it. We're human. We forget to, like, do that. So, I try to put it on every single... I try to do the shading kind of the hair on every single line. It's pretty difficult because then you realize, oh, wait, I missed this line, but I'm too lazy to go back. So... And make sure when every time you start seeing there's like a different color on the hair, like just select that hair color, and then if it's too dark when you like have the multiply on, just lighten up the color. Just do however you like it. And that part when I do the highlights took me a while. And yeah, that's basically all I do. Is just try to get all the lines. At the end, when I don't have all of the, when I don't have the highlights in, it kind of looks weird because, like, it's all just lines on the hair. But, like, it looks better at the end. I really like how I edit now. At first, when I was younger, it was literally like a couple of months ago, I used to edit not completely differently, but those little changes I made just like made it so much better now. And I actually really like how I edit. So that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. And here, as you saw a couple of like seconds ago, I picked I think. Did I? I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. I picked a different color, and you see it's more on the pinkish tone than the purplish tone, because now the ponytail's more pink than it is the blue. Over here, that took me a while because I can't make it look good with one stroke, so I tried making it look like it was one stroke like that, but when I erased it, that happened. So I should probably start doing the airbrush and this lines I'm doing on two different layers, but it still worked out. So, anyways, yeah. When I get to the highlight parts, I'll show you how I used to highlight it because I totally forgot to show you guys here. So, yeah, just continue watching this. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So now I'm going to be doing the highlights. There's a difference between like the highlight and the highlights. So I make another layer. I did not mean to put the opacity all the way down. Not all the way, but like lower. I don't know why do I change it? I forgot. But basically I make the highlights a bit darker so they can actually have some color, not look very white. Also, this is an ad layer, just to let you know. I like using a very thin brush because it's it just looks better. If I use a thick one, it just looks weird. And so yeah, I just try doing every single one, just following the like shading ones I did. And whenever I see one that I didn't shade, I just use the add tool. Oh, something good. That's how I used to edit the highlights. I just make it put it over the face. Like, I would make it look messy, but now I don't. Like, over there you saw that I just did what's it called? Because I didn't do the shading part, I just used the highlight to do that, because, like, who cares? I'm not going to go back and do that. So I just used the highlights over there, arrow pointing there. I now do, like, an entire, I don't know how to say it, but it's like a line. As you saw there, I pointed to it. I just do that a lot now. Like, whenever any, like, even all, like, guys that I do, I just do that. I do that, like, line thing with both the shade and the highlight. That took me a long time because I don't know. It looks weird with the highlight. So I was trying to figure out how to make it not look weird. And yeah. So I'll be right back. Just enjoy me editing. I'll be right back. And we're about to do the highlight, which has a pretty big difference. So now, after I finish all the highlights, I believe I do, yeah, I make another layer. Make it an add layer. So now I will be doing how I do it now, and then I'll show you guys how I did it before. I think people that watched me from like a couple of months ago till now can see the difference. So all I do now is basically I make sure none of the highlight is on, like, any accessories or on the actual face. I also don't like putting them on the ears because, like, since it's like it's just weird putting the highlight on the ear as well, because, like, it's, like, curved. So, like, also what's it called? The highlights are also going to be curved, so I don't do that. I make sure it's not on the ear as well, like I did last time. It took me a while to, there we go, I think. Okay, there. And then basically I make the brush pretty tiny, but at the same time, like, a normal brush size. And then I just make random lines like that. And then I just start making it, like, curving it on each side, like erasing, but it's like a curved eraser, kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but like I make the highlights curved. And that's all I do now, and I make sure I do it individually, not together, because you'll see, that's how I used to do it before, and I thought I really liked it. I don't anymore, and later on I realized that it's crooked. So this is crooked. The highlights I'm doing right now are crooked. So I'll be fixing that. I'll show you guys how I fixed that. I just used to not fix it, and it used to be just crooked, just like that, and I never fixed it. And whenever I make a mistake, I just undo it, because it's like very tiny. It's okay. And then I just make all of that. Now, as I can see, it's crooked. I go there, I use the lasso tool. Oh, I don't. I erase it. Never mind. I don't use it yet. I go there, I use the lasso tool, and since it's on a different layer, it's only going to select the things that are on that layer. And I rotate it to make it actually look straight and not crooked, because that just looks weird. So I fix that. I take out the lasso thing. And now I will be showing you how I do the normal edits, like how I used to edit. Also, I'll be showing you how to do that. Like, I'm going to be highlighting that later. Okay, so this is one of my old edits, and if we just zoom in real quick, that should take a quick moment. There we go. Just zoom in real quick. You will be able to tell that, as you could see, I used only one stroke and did that. So it looks a bit different than my new one, and I really like how I now do it. I was just lazy back then, and I didn't do each individual one. So that's how it turned out because of that. Okay, so now I'll be showing you guys how I used to edit. I need to undo all of that because that's not how I used to edit. So I changed that layer to multiply, I believe, sooner or later, once I undo everything I did, because I started editing until I realized I need to show you guys how I used to do it. So the 8th layer, I make it to multiply. Then I selected that, and I just went to airbrush, and I would just airbrush that, and it looked very weird before. So that's what I used to do. And for the past, 2 videos, I discovered a new way. I watched some YouTube videos, and I just learned how to edit clothes better. So I watched this video, and it was very easy. So now what I do is I make all of the lines very, very thin. And as you can see, I'm making them all very thin. That's going to take a while, so I'm going to speed this part up, because all the other ones are very, they're not sped up, because I want you guys to understand what I'm doing, but it's pretty self-explanatory that I'm making all of the lines thinner. So I'm going to speed this part up, because this is very, very, it took a long time. we made all the lines. Then now we're gonna make a new layer, and it's gonna be multiply, and we need to download we need to download a new brush, and it's gonna create an ad. Okay, I had to delete the ad. I just got this notification. Don't worry about anything. So you get the pen fade, and you basically select the color you're about to highlight, and basically, I was just checking it was multiply, and basically make the brush pretty thick, not that thick. And I like lightening the color a bit. I also make it to 42% always for the force fade. And basically, I just color every time there's like whenever I see a line, I color that part. I realized that over there's like this little gray spot, so I'm gonna fix that with my other the one that I use to thin out all the lines. I'm just using that layer to take that part out because it's pretty annoying. So I use that to do that. And then basically all I do is whenever there's a line, I just color, like, not really edit, but like I shape that part. And it's basically the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to speed this part up too. Okay, so after this, you make another layer, and this time again, it's going to be a multiply layer. Then I select the shadow, and I make a very thin brush, and I basically just make the inside of the line, kind of, I don't know how to explain it, a bit more darker. I'm also going to put the link of the video I used how to edit clothing in the description, so make sure you check that out. Also, my Discord link for my YouTube channel is there. I make a lot of announcements there, and since not a lot of people are there, no one really sees them. I announced that I'm making the third part of the Marriage Chat movie much sooner than I did on YouTube, because Discord is easier for me to access than to make a whole video or make an entire post. So, yeah. So, if you guys have Discord, you guys can go check that out. And basically, yeah, that's all I'm doing. So I'm just making the, like, inner parts of the shading much more darker. So again, I will be speeding this whole process up. over here I'm going to be doing the eyes, and I do the eyes, honestly, the exact same. I guess I just got better at doing it. Basically, I just do another layer, normal. I make it black. I use the dip pen, I think, hard. And I take off the force fade, and then I just make dark, like, half domes on the eyes. After that, I just go into the layer, and I just lower the opacity, and then I just erase the parts that is not the eye, and that's basically all I do for the eyes, except for one part that I do. It's the exact same thing, it's just not, there's more steps to the eye. I believe I make the thing much less dark, because I just make it darker, not darker, I just make it a random opacity, enough to see, like, where all of, like, where like, pieces of the hair, like, go into the eye. As you can see, the little strand was in the eye, so I have to, like, take that out, and it's very annoying if I don't have the opacity lowered, because like that, I won't see what is underneath. So, soon I will be, right here, yeah. I take away that hair because it's not part of the eye. I only shade in the eye. So I do that on both sides, because I believe it happens on both sides. Why did I just go into a British accent? Okay, I believe it goes on to both sides. And, yeah, and then, again, I think I said it. I lower the opacity much more lower. And after that, I make another layer. I go to airbrush. I make another. I made another layer already, and I made it into add this time, and I just select it, and then I just do that. It's pretty simple. Make sure it's airbrush. I make another layer, make it add again, make it dip pen hard. I put the force fade back on, and make sure the length of start and length of end is at 100. I make the pen thing, like the brush, very thin, and that's basically all I do for the eye, which is very similar. Simple, not similar. And it's actually very similar to what I do before. And I believe I'm going to show you guys. Oh, here's what I was talking about. Like, I'm going to highlight this because this is a pretty kind of, like, it's something I used on a lot of my characters when I was younger. I would use this for all of my OCs. I would use this. So it's pretty close to me that I use that symbol, because I used that when I was younger, so I never took that off. So now I want to highlight that part, because why not? I try not to highlight the stars that much, because I'm going to be like unhighlighting all of that, because that was way too dark. So I mean way too bright. I try like not highlighting it a lot, so I make it like darker, and I just like do lines, because it's like a tiny star, and it looks weird when you like highlight it a lot. So that's all I do, like that, just to like brighten it up. And if you guys are wondering, I'm going to show you guys how to do tears soon with this same character. I'm just going to just show you how I do it. I'm just going to just save it as transparent G. Then I go to white. I'm going to just show you guys how to do tears. This character doesn't need it, but I make a little circle, then a line, and if you want more circles in there, and then just do that. Just follow what I do, and that's all you have to do for tears. But it's not needed for this character. Let me see. I think that's all. And basically, that's the difference between my old and new characters. And that's pretty much it. So, bye, slimes.